All right, Zach, welcome to the podcast. This is episode 205. Happy to have you here and excited. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you being on. Before we jump in and talk more about Mintable and all that you guys are doing and all the cool stuff, and talk about NFTs, tell me a bit more about yourself. What's your background? What's your story? How did you find yourself in this crazy, wonderful world of crypto and blockchain?
Yeah, I got pretty lucky actually. I found Bitcoin fairly early on. And like most people, I was not aware of what Bitcoin was when I found it, right? It was just some magic internet money, like everyone, their first time finding it. So I kind of played around for a little bit, and after, a few years, I got real serious. And I was in the military, so as I was getting out of the military, I started to work back into crypto, and I said, okay, I want to work into crypto, full time. 2015 and 2016, I became full time in crypto as a smart contract developer on Ethereum, doing different projects, doing different things. 2017 rolled around, and I found NFTs. Now, I fell in love, and it wasn't a conscious decision. But NFTs are just such a versatile technology that I've only done NFT stuff since 2017. And some of the things that I've done, if you've interacted with an NFT on Ethereum, you would probably interact with code that I have written. So I've created the first batch minting for NFTs. I've worked with the Ethereum Foundation for optimizing the ERC 721 standard. I created the royalty standard, ERC 2981, for royalties and NFTs. I created the first DAO for NFTs. I created gas minting for NFTs, and a lot of other stuff. And so, very experienced in terms of development and kind of expanding the NFT ecosystem. In 2018, I made Mintable, which was the first tool, at the time on the internet to mint NFTs and transfer NFTs. And this was, you know, the start of something pretty awesome. I realized that I created, the first iteration of something on the internet. And I realized, okay, this is a good opportunity, and I should try to, obviously expand on this opportunity.
Mhm.
So I've been running Mintable since 2018, and now we're one of the largest NFT platforms on the internet. We have hundreds of thousands of users. We do millions of dollars in volume, and we've got some really cool stuff.
Cool. So it's fair to say NFTs were your entryway into the space.
No, actually, no, I wouldn't say that. So I was active in the space, in 2014, pretty heavily, not
Hmm.
as a developer, but just within crypto. And then 2015 and 16 was as a developer. At that point, I said, okay, I'm going to take my development experience that I have outside of crypto, and I'm going to focus on
Hmm.
Web3 and Ethereum. So, 2015, I started as a smart contract developer, and that was before there was anything in terms of the 721 standard or NFT standard that we can use, and NFTs weren't really around. So what I was doing back then was just kind of miscellaneous, unrelated things to just different Web3 stuff.
What got you most excited about wanting to keep working in the space and be a part of it? Was it, the possibility of NFTs and what you guys were doing there, or was it Ethereum more broadly, or was it something else?
At what time frame? Like this year or back in 2017 or what?
Probably a few years back, maybe like 2017, around that time.
Yeah, I've always been bullish on NFTs.
Hmm.
So I was the guy back in 2017 and 2018. I was like, hey, if you guys play CryptoKitties, this shit's the best. Like this is going to be the future.
Hmm.
And 2018, I remember I was talking to something or doing some interview or something, and I remember saying that NFTs are going to be, essentially the next wave of adoption for crypto is going to happen this year. It's going to happen next year. Of course, we had a fair market, and that never happened. But it's happened this year, right? And so I've always been really bullish on NFTs because when you really understand what NFTs allow for, we've created something new that didn't exist before in the sense of think about the year 2000. If I asked you,
Hmm.
how would you verify that you're the only person in the world that owns this authentic file? You wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't have a way to say, well, I don't know if someone didn't email this or whatever. And this is actually a problem that classified material has to deal with in the military. If you have classified material on a certain computer, you can't necessarily put it in a thumb drive and move that. So they try to figure out, is this secured on this network, or has it only stayed on this one location? And that's, of course, multiple versions of the file and stuff. But the point is we've tried to have effective means to do what we're able to do now for many, many years. And so it opens up a whole new door of economies, and opens up a whole new door of interactions. And one of the things that I think, not a lot of people realize is that NFTs can be applied to so many things that never had a business model, or never had a revenue stream attached to it, or economy attached to it. And we've created something new called a digitally tangible good. And if you think about that, that's kind of an oxymoron, digitally tangible, but it is, because it is digitally tangible. I can say, look, this is in my wallet. I can see it right here. I'm the only person that has this asset. And this, I think, is really, really powerful. And this is what gets me kind of, I guess, excited about NFTs.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are very exciting about NFTs, and including the utility of them, and the fact that they're very simple right now, very face value, compared to what they could be applied to in the future, and what they could represent, what they can do. So it's exciting to see how popular it is now versus where it will potentially be very soon. I'm sure you see that as well.
Yeah, most definitely. I think we've only scratched the surface of what's to come.
hmm Tell me more about Mintable. What makes it different? What makes it stand out? What's the mission? What are you guys trying to accomplish with it?
Yeah, so Mintable is a e-commerce platform,
hmm
and you might be thinking, wait, you're an NFT platform, and we are an NFT platform, but we think about ourselves as an e-commerce platform. And so what that means is that we take principles and practices that have been established over the last 20 years from multi-billion-dollar companies like Amazon, Etsy, and eBay, and we apply that to the cutting-edge technology of NFTs. So if you go and you look at Mintable right now, there's a few things that you can do, whether you're a creator or a collector. If you're a creator, Mintable is the only place on the internet for you to mint an NFT on Ethereum with no gas fee, right? So this is really powerful, because you actually, what ends up happening is a large percentage of our users are extremely brand new to crypto. They've never signed up on Binance. They've never signed up on Coinbase. They've just gotten their crypto wallet. They have no crypto in it. There's no Ethereum in the wallet, and they're using Mintable. And they're creating NFTs because we're the only option for someone who is new. So if your neighbor is an artist or a content creator or a streamer or whatever, and they want to make an NFT, but they haven't invested in crypto, they haven't done KYC on Coinbase, they can't just go get started one day. They have to go wait that week-long process and figure that whole headache out of getting onboarded into crypto if they want to use OpenSea or Rarible or other platforms. But with gasless minting, which is a really, really cool revolutionary way of minting, they can get started with zero crypto, and the NFT is a real NFT that they own. It's on the blockchain in their wallet. They have control over it. It's not lazy minted. It exists then and there, and there's no additional gas fees that are being passed on to a buyer. So it's actually cheaper in terms of gas fees for a buyer to buy these. So it's an easier item to sell. So in terms of minting, not only is it free, but we offer the most flexibility out of any other platform. If you want to deploy your own smart contract and host your data on your own server because you're doing a 10,000 PFP project, or if you want to host it on Arweave or IPFS, or if you want Mintable to take care of it, those are all three different options. And you can get your own smart contract, or you can mint on our contract with everyone else for free. And then we've got to talk about the files. So if you make 4K videos, if you want to put this recording as an NFT, you're limited by file size where you go. And so that doesn't make much sense for a creator standpoint to be limited, because you want them to have the flexibility and the freedom to create. So on Mintable, our file size is 2 gigabytes for the private file, and the private file is fully secured. It is scanned for viruses. So, most people don't think about this, but if you're getting a file off of OpenSea that someone just randomly made, OpenSea doesn't scan it, doesn't look for any malicious software or anything like that. But that person knows that you have crypto. So that's a perfect attack vector. So since day one, we've had military grade virus scanning software and malware software that runs to make sure everything is safe and secure. And then, of course, you have the 2 gigabytes is up for your NFT. And that's on the creating side. There's also a few other things that we do differently. On the buying side, though, there's unique problems that you have with NFTs. When we think about my mom, for example, and if I ask my mom, how much does this CryptoPunk cost? She doesn't know what a CryptoPunk is. So she sees this pixel image and she's like, I don't know, $5, right? And I'm like, no, try 4 million. And she has no idea. And it's the same problem that if I hold up a Babe Ruth card and I tell you this is a mint condition Babe Ruth card from 1970, what is the price of that? Do you know? Do you know like the estimated value of that?
I wouldn't. I know Babe Ruth is famous, and I don't really follow baseball, but I assume that it has some kind of value.
Right. Well, and that's the problem. You don't follow baseball. And so my mom doesn't follow cryptocurrencies. And maybe you don't follow Bored Apes. So if I show you a Bored Ape or a CryptoPunk, it's always the same answer. Oh, I don't know that project, so I don't know this valuation of this item. So this is a problem. And when you look at an item and you see that you can make an offer on it, but you don't know how to value it, you'll get these weird offers that just don't make sense and are just not realistic. So one of the things that we've done is we have every single NFT on the blockchain, and we have every single NFT transaction, and we built out analytics so that when you look at Bored Ape, you can see not only every single transaction, you can see a really nice chart, a breakdown of the average transaction size, the amount of transactions, the average price, the total volume, the breakdown of where the volume is happening. All this information, so you can look at that like within 5 seconds, say, oh, okay, this is $250,000. Let me go to the next one, right? And we've done some other cool stuff. So we have a credit card for every single NFT. If you want to go buy a cool cat with your credit card because you don't have crypto, but you saw cool cats, well, you can't do that on OpenSea. You can't do that on Rarible. You can do that on Mintable. And it's not a middleman solution where like you have to buy ETH with your credit card and then you submit the transaction. My mom's not going to do that, right? It's a pure put in your credit card just like on Amazon. Boom, you got the NFT in your wallet, right? No middle steps. And so that's really cool. And yeah, so I mean, we've got a lot of other things too, like comments and messaging systems. So you can leave a comment on any NFT. There's voting on NFTs, so you can vote and rank NFTs. And direct messages, customized profiles, widgets you can embed on your website, all sorts of stuff. So it's pretty crazy. We, this is why so many people like us.
Got it. That brings up a lot of interesting questions. With the credit card stuff, like let's say your grandma buys a CryptoPunk. I'd be pretty impressed if she did that with a credit card. But let's say she bought a CryptoPunk with a credit card. Does she still need an Ethereum wallet to hold it? Where does the CryptoPunk go?
Yeah, so as of right now, you still have to get a wallet. And we thought about this and we're like, wallets are such a pain in the ass. And one of the things is, my mom literally has used Mintable. My mom's a construction worker from California, right? She barely uses Facebook, right? She doesn't have any crypto. She's never going to buy it. You know what I'm talking about. And I asked her to use Mintable, and she was able to. And she's got a pop-up blocker, and she's got a little coupon extension that she has. And she now has a MetaMask extension that she never uses, but she downloaded it. She didn't save her wallet, seed phrase, or she didn't do any of the proper stuff she should have done because she doesn't have any money in it. But she made it, and when it popped up on Mintable, she was able to click the button to send a message. So it's not that hard of an ask, and it's something that we want to improve in the future to make it even easier. But yeah, you do have to get the wallet first, and then once you have your wallet, it just auto detects your wallet and says we're going to send it to your wallet. And so once she downloads that, then she's good to go.
Got it. Here's a popular question people usually ask me about NFTs that I just can't answer. And that's, can you do like batch minting, or would you be able to in the future, but also would you be able to do some type of batch multi-sending where not just sending like a bunch of NFTs to one person, but being able to send multiple NFTs to multiple people? Is that possible?
So first off, I literally created the first batch minting iteration for 720 NFTs. So yes, you can batch mint, and I'll tell you a little history about that actually. When I created it, you were only able to make 40 NFTs in a single transaction. And you could optimize it a little bit at the time, and maybe you could get 50 or 60, but that's pretty much it. And it would take the entire block of an Ethereum block. And so right now, if you wanted to take up an entire block to make 40 NFTs, you're looking at about $2,000, $3,000 in gas fees, right? So
Hmm.
really expensive. Back then, it was like $180, and 40 was enough. So that was the first iteration. As time went on, people came up with different ways of minting that got that number up. Gods Unchained was able to do 1,024 was their limit, and I was really impressed by this when they came out with this. And you're able to batch mint, and you can also batch send, but you're limited by the number. And this is why
Hmm.
I'm bringing up this number. In the latest iteration of batch minting that I created back in 2020, uh, the limit was, well, it was 2,000 back then. Now it's 3,000. So you can do 3,000 NFTs in a single transaction, and it will cost you about $1,000, about $1,500 to $1,500.
Hmm.
So it is expensive, but you are making like 3 or 4 thousand NFTs in one transaction. They all go to one address though. If you wanted to send them to different addresses, you probably wouldn't be able to do 40 again. And there's some unique ways that you can get around this, but ultimately it requires a lot of customization with how your smart contract works in particular.
Hmm.
And you might be able to get to maybe 500, at least with 721s, right? There's other standards out there that may be a little bit more economical, but for 721s, you're gonna have to pay out the ass. It's
There's got to be a way to do it though, whether it's using like some layer two scaling solution or something like Polygon or whatever you guys are using, to be able to create something like
well,
that at some point, right?
so there's there's ways that you can do it if you're creative. And I'll give you an example. We have a product called Mintology. It's a B2B
Hmm.
SaaS for enterprise clients to be able to use NFTs, whether it's Coca-Cola, Starbucks, or some gaming studio. If they want to use NFTs, the problem is if you're, I don't know, say a casino, and you want to make hundreds of thousands of NFTs every month. Uh, where you can do that at, right? You can do it on a layer two, but then the question is you're going to try to get someone who doesn't know crypto to get into crypto, but they come to a layer two right away, right? Like that's a really hard ask. So with Mintology, we use gasless minting, which is what we created a Mintable for people that don't need crypto, and it lets you make millions of NFTs instantly with no gas fees. So
Hmm.
with that, I can send, for example, every single person watching this, I can send an NFT completely for free. And it can all be very different NFTs. It could be whatever you want. And they own that NFT. They can use it right away. They can see it right away, right? It's 100% real NFT. And this is what's so cool about Ontology and gasless minting. So with that, you can effectively batch transfer. If Coca-Cola, ask people to give them their addresses to get an airdrop, then
Hmm.
you know it doesn't matter how many millions of items it is. That's not an issue for us. Um, and if you move outside of something like that, using like a sidechain or layer two, it's not. It doesn't really solve what you're trying to get at here, which is to transfer the NFTs. You can do it
Hmm.
on the sidechain or layer two, but if they want to get it back on Ethereum, each person is still going to have to pay a gas fee when they submit that transaction. So you don't really get around the cost of a million transactions. But with batch transfers, you can do, like I said, you could do probably 50 to 100 batch transfers, depending on how deep in customization you go on your smart contract. And, that is something you can do. You still going to pay a lot of money, though.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like an airdrop. It would be cool if like you were board ape yacht club. So many different collections, and I'm getting tired of trying to pronounce the names sometimes. But if you were them and you could get people to sign up potentially, and then just drop them like special NFTs for signing up and being a part of their community directly to their Ethereum address. And if you were able to do it similar to being able to send out like a mass email campaign or something like that, that'd be a pretty cool feature.
That's literally what we offer at Mintology. And so we've actually done that for one of the Singapore FinTech Festival, which is the largest FinTech festival in Southeast Asia. It's run
Hmm.
by like the Singaporean government, like the regulator for it's the monetary authority of Singapore, which is like the financial regulator for Singapore, runs this large fintech festival. And we partnered with them and we gave away NFTs as tickets for the event. And so basically, you would just come to a site, claim your NFT, and it's on Ethereum. You can find them right now. You can see them on OpenSea. You can see them on Mintable. You can see them in the wallet. And it was, it cost essentially nothing. There was no gas fees. So this is one of the cool things that Mintology is working on. There's some other really cool stuff actually. Let me tell you this. Imagine you scan a QR code at Starbucks and
Mm-hmm.
you get an NFT. And
Ooh.
then you scan it again your next time you buy a coffee, and it's a loyalty card, right? And then finally you go up one day and they scan your QR code, and now your NFT has been wiped clean, it's reset, and you just got 10% off it, your coffee or a free coffee or whatever, right? What does that mean if you're going to go to Starbucks and well, I can buy a full Starbucks NFT for $5, and my coffee is $8, so I'm going to save $3 if I do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is something we're working on at Mythology, and I just think it's cool. I think next year, everywhere you go, there's going to be some NFT in some capacity set up.
When are we going to see that? When you can scan a QR code and claim an NFT? Have you guys been working on that? Is that something that will come out at some point, or?
Yeah, so that specifically will probably come out in like February for Mythology. Mythology has been in stealth mode for the last 6 months, and we've gotten some very big clients over the last 6 months without even having a website. The website
Mm-hmm.
is going to go live in January. It'll have a self-service. So, Brandon, if you want to come on, you can come on and you can give away an NFT to every person that leaves a comment. Well, your live stream, right? You can just copy and paste their address, boom, that's it. And you can airdrop NFTs for each of your shows for free. And so it'll be a self-service, so that you'll be able to do that. We'll also have its own dashboard for all the clients and everything like that. But that feature with the QR codes is probably not going to come until February
Mm-hmm.
because we've got some other features we're working on first.
That'd be so cool. Can you imagine, like, right here on the screen below your video and my video, if I could put a QR code right there, so people that are
Do it
watching
again.
could
Yep.
scan it and get a free NFT of our faces doing something on an NFT for the holidays representing the episode. That'd be pretty
You,
sweet.
you You most definitely can. This is actually something that we offer. So they would scan that QR code and it would go to like mintology.com/ Brandon or BlockHash or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would detect their wallet, they claim their NFT, and boom, they've got it. Right. And so these are all different things that we're working on in Mintology. And this speaks to what we're trying to do and what I've done for the NFT ecosystem, which is expand the ecosystem. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If we look at, like, we're not just providing a consumer marketplace, we're not just providing an only place to use credit card for NFTs, we're not just providing a place to lead discussions and have research and analytics on NFTs, but instead we're also trying to build tools for the enterprise and customers who want to explore, want to be able to offer, why are movie tickets not NFTs yet? Why is it that the new Spider-Man movie doesn't come with like a Spider-Man NFT, right? Well, it can.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're building in Mythology, right? That's the whole point of that. And so we're trying to offer something for the users, we're trying to offer something for the businesses. And then we've got actually more. We have an investment fund as well. We invest in NFT companies. And yeah, we try to cover as much of the NFT space as possible.
I want a Spider-Man NFT. That'd be sweet.
Yeah. You can
That'd be
get
so
one
cool.
on VB.
That'd be cool. Like, if you
VB,
could,
yeah.
yeah. It'd be cool to know if you could,
Go.
like, go to the actual movie theater and a QR code could pop up and you could all claim like your day one Spider-Man NFT. I see it coming. It's gonna happen. It's just makes so much sense.
Well, I can 100% guarantee that it's going to happen next year. And that's because we have been talking for multiple months with a
Hmm.
movie that's coming out. So I can't say more than that. But
Gotcha.
essentially, every company right now, NFTs, I don't think people actually realize this, but this is like a literal fact. NFTs are the hottest market on the planet, the hottest industry on the planet right now. There's not a hotter industry anywhere on the planet that has seen the growth that NFTs have seen. So it's literally the number one high growth industry on earth, which is insane to me because if you think about that, like, imagine working in the hottest, growth market of, anywhere. It's
Hmm.
This is something that whether you're a bank, whether you're a mom and pop retail business, or a celebrity, or an athlete, or an artist, you're thinking about ways to use NFTs. And I'm very bullish on next year. I think next year is going to be a hell of a year with NFTs that are being launched in terms of the mainstream.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next year. It's in about a week or so, about 2 weeks, so we're getting close.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say right off the bat. I don't know what's going to happen in January, but sometime through the year of 2022, things are going to get crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting year for sure. Also, something kind of relatable. I also saw on your platform that you can promote NFTs too. You can run ad campaigns. I haven't seen that before. Tell me how that works.
So, okay, you're going to sell Bored Ape for $250,000.
Sure.
If you post your Bored Ape on OpenSea, you go look at a Bored Ape on OpenSea right now. Go look at the views they have. It's not a lot. You know,
Hmm.
if you're lucky, you might break 1,000 views, right? But most people, especially like for Bored Apes, there's a lot of eyeballs on it. But if you have anything else, it's under 100. But if you're going to sell a $250,000 NFT, you want to get as many eyes on it because you're going to make 10,000 or above in terms of profit, most likely. So if you're going to make this much money, why would you not spend $50 on promoting it on the platform that people are buying it? And that's what we built. So we have a self-serve advertising platform, just like on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, within the marketplace. So if you make an NFT or if you have a board, whatever, you list your NFT for sale, and you can go to an ad manager. You can set up the campaign. You can say, I want to promote this NFT, or I want to promote all the NFTs I have for sale. I want to set a cost per click of, I don't know, 5 cents. So I'll pay 5 cents for every click. And I'm going to run it for the next week. And you'll put in $50. You're paying 5 cents a click. $50 is really not a lot of money. And once you submit that, if you go to the browse page, you go to the home page, your NFT will appear in the promoted section, right? So you get a lot more eyeballs on it. To give you an example, we actually get a ton of traffic, dude. It's insane.
Hmm.
We get like 150 million to 300 million page requests a month,
All
which
right.
is insane.
Damn.
So, yeah, dude. When you promote your NFT, you're on the homepage or you're on the first results that everyone sees when they're browsing. You'll get 25,000, 50,000, 75,000 views over the course of a week on your NFT. And this is a huge number of impressions, right? You've got, tens of thousands of people that are looking to buy NFTs. They've got money in their wallet and they're seeing your product first. So a lot of people that use our platform that sell a lot of NFTs, they always promote their NFTs. And this is the best way to stand out. This is what Amazon does. This is what eBay does. This is what Etsy does. So why would we not do it either? It makes a ton of sense. It gives you a better chance of selling your NFT, and you're going to make money. So if you're going to make $10,000, no one really cares about $50 at that point, right? Is you say,
Hmm.
well, I'm only going to make $9,950 more. So it's a very, very popular thing. We had to take it off to review some of the policies that we had. So we took it offline for about a week, and we had a ton of people like asking for it to come back. And I was like, "This is so weird." So they're like, "Please, we need it." So yeah.
No, it sounds like a really cool tool. I'm anxious to actually try it out myself. What about demographics? Can you like get specific about who you want to see your NFT when you promote it? Like to someone, like maybe if you have a crypto punk, you probably want to promote that to someone that has a few $1 million to spend, if that's how much you're listening for. Can you get
That
specific that?
no, that's a good idea. But we don't offer that because we don't collect data on our users, right? So we
Hmm.
also, we're a crypto company, right? We don't believe in
Sure.
censorship. We believe in privacy. So we have like no data on our users at all. We could log, how much money you have in your wallet every time you log in, but we don't do
You could
that.
do
Why would
something
we want to do
creative though. I mean, you could do something like allow them to, if they choose when they set up their wallet address that they, buy, hold, and sell from all these NFTs and hold crypto, what they want to say about themselves. You can give them simple options like, do you consider yourself a whale? Do you consider yourself a fish? And then that obviously puts them in different salary
That's
categories that
interesting.
you can use.
That's interesting.
Um, yeah, and you could do it
Actually,
in a fun
so
way.
we built a machine learning model to offer you recommendation on your NFTs. So
Hmm.
because we have all the NFTs in blockchain, we said, what if we could recommend you like Amazon does NFTs that you like?
Hmm.
Um, and so we don't have any information on you, and we just basically say that this random person that we don't know looked at
Hmm.
5 board apes, so we're going to offer them another board ape, right? And we're still you're finding this model, but one of the things is we just need more data. And so we were thinking about asking for your location, just to say, where are you from? And that would be able to say, like, imagine if you're in Colombia right now. So imagine if you went to Mintable and it said the hottest NFTs in Colombia, and it
Hmm.
showed you the hottest NFT projects in Colombia based on what everyone else in Colombia is looking at. That's pretty interesting, actually. And I'd be really interested to see, what are the hottest NFTs in Singapore, just in Singapore. And so this offers like a new way of browsing NFTs. And so this was something we were playing with. But I like the idea of adding, like, are you a whale or are you a shrimp? Because
Yeah,
obviously they
that'd be kind of
combine.
cool. And that's like a
Yeah,
cool crypto way of letting people decide if they want to tell you or not. I mean, they could remain completely anonymous or they could give you that info. And then you're
yeah.
going to be able to curate certain content to them and then they're going to be able to see what they want to potentially buy. And it helps when you're promoting because then you're going to know that you're targeting people that consider themselves whales versus fish and shrimps and whatever the line is. That'd be a really cool addition.
I'm literally typing this in our developer group to just say, okay, let's write this down and let's get this added because we're already working on the location thing, so we're gonna add
Yeah.
the well thing. So thanks for the idea. Good idea.
You're welcome, of course. I'll ask you one more question, then we'll kind of start wrapping things up. I know you're kind of typing that in too. But I know some platforms like OpenSea, they're exploring using other blockchains other than just Ethereum for NFTs. Are you guys considering that as well, or are you guys going to stick with Ethereum to the end?
So we actually were the first marketplace to support two blockchains. We supported Zilliqa and Ethereum back
Hmm.
in early 2022, or sorry, 2020. Uh,
Okay.
and so we support Zilliqa right now, which is another layer one, and Ethereum. We just added Immutable X like 7 days ago.
Hmm.
So that's the first layer two that we've added. Polygon is going to be coming in January. And so we'll have two layer twos back to back in rapid succession. We have Ethereum, we have Zilliqa. We'll probably be working on an XRP marketplace early next year.
Hmm.
And we'll see what happens from there. Most of the volume is on Ethereum.
Yeah.
Um, it's just a fact. And so, if most of your sales are in, Japan, yeah, you can explore going to China and other Asian markets, but you're still going to focus heavily on Japan, right? So, I think that we'll always have our main focus on Ethereum, unless everyone just leaves Ethereum for Immutable X or whatever, right? Because of gas fees or whatnot.
Yeah. I think, and you're definitely right. A lot of the volume and the attention, it's all on Ethereum still. There's a lot of blockchains that are definitely putting out the different possibilities for NFTs. It'd be interesting to see what they do with that going forward in the future. But I imagine most of the attention will stay on Ethereum just because it's always been there and it's kind of hard to move attention when everyone's already sucked into one ecosystem. Why would they want to jump ship? It's
Yeah.
like, being a part of the Apple ecosystem and then saying that, oh, Samsung has great products, trying to make that leap is difficult, and they spend millions and billions of dollars trying to do it. So it makes sense. I don't think a lot of people are going to jump ship anytime soon, but it would be interesting to see different blockchains and their NFTs if they have something that's radically different than the standard NFTs that are on Ethereum.
Yeah, and You know, ultimately, one of the issues is the onboarding process for different layer ones. It's just if in 2016, uh, the only crypto that you can find on every single exchange was Bitcoin, right? And then
Hmm.
maybe they would have Ethereum, and now it's Bitcoin and Ethereum, and a few other ones you always find, maybe Litecoin or whatnot. But if you come on and you want to get Tezos on your local exchange wherever you're at or whatever country you're in, there's a good chance that you may not have access to it, right? And the same goes for all these little Solana, you name it, right? So it's just the easiest path is to go through Ethereum. Um, and layer twos are a very good solution. I think that we'll find. direct onboarding to layer twos as something that will probably happen sooner rather than later. So instead of going on Ethereum right off the bat, you're just going to move to Mutable X off the bat,
Hmm.
and you'll never interact with Ethereum maybe for your first year, and then you realize like, oh, I've got to withdraw all my money to Ethereum to do X, Y, and Z. And so I think that that's probably going to be the route forward that people see the adoption kind of go towards. So
Gotcha. Anyways, I think it's a pretty good place to wrap up. Where should people go if they want to be more involved in the Mintable community? Do you have like a Discord? Do you have a Telegram? Where do people go to chit chat and share ideas?
yeah, you can find us on Twitter. If you go to Mintable_app, you can obviously check out our website, which has links to our Discord at Mintable.com, Mintable.app. And if you come to Discord, please say hi. We've got a lot of people in there, so there's a lot of people for you to chat with and a lot of people for you to discuss different things with. So
Perfect. I'll be sure to put that in the description for the episode below before it goes out, or when it goes out. I'll make sure it's added in. But anyways, Zach, thank you for taking the time to come on the show. Really appreciate it. Great conversation. Learned a lot about Mintable and NFTs, and a lot of good topics in there. So it'll be fun to clip that up and put it out on social media. So thanks again. I really appreciate it.
awesome, man. Thank you. I appreciate it as well. You have a good day.
You too.